Enterprise grade networking configured from anywhere in the world on a controller that costs you absolutely nothing. That's what we're going to be setting up today. In this video, I'm doing a complete start to finish build of a TP-Link Omada network using kit that TP-Link Omada have sent me. And importantly, they haven't told me what to say. We'll go through every piece of hardware that I'm using, including its specs. Then I'll show you how it's all connected. Then we'll go on to the software side using the free TP-Link Omada controller. And then right at the end, we'll look at the seriously impressive speed tests. Right, let's get into the gear. Okay, so let's get into the specs. I'm not going to hammer you on this, but we'll get an overview. So the first is the router. This is the ER8411. It's the Omada VPN router with 10 gigabit ports. It's got the Omada SDN, and basically that allows us to centrally cloud manage it, which we're going to be doing in this video. Again, that's a little bit more about Omada. We've got two 10 gig SFP plus ports, including one WAN and one WAN/LAN. We've got up to 10 WAN ports, so you could potentially have 10 different internet connections on this. I've never seen that, but it is possible. It's got a highly secure VPN and abundant security features. Okay, next we've got a switch. It's a bit of a mouthful. It's the TLSG3428XPPM2. And it's got a lot of features. We've got lots of 2.5 gig ports with PoE++ and PoE+. It's got 10 gig SFPs. It's got 4 of those 10 gig SFP plus ports, and it's got a massive 500 watts PoE budget. So you're not going to run out of power with this guy. We've got integrated into Omada SDN. Again, this is what we're going to be doing in this video, and that includes the centralized management. We've got static routing and a load of other security features. Next, we've got the access point. It's the EAP787. It's a ceiling mounted access point, and it's tri-band, and we've got lots of features here. We've got dedicated RF scanning. As I just said, we've got tri-band, and we've got one multi-gig port, so it actually has a 10 gigabit uplink on this access point. And we've got lots and lots of other features here as well. You can see that these access points are actually quite nice looking. Omada originally had some pretty ugly access points, but they've really improved that, so it is a nice looking device for those of you that care. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how I've set all this up. At the top here, we have the Omada router, which at the moment I'm connecting to my home network via Ethernet. Once we've got the router set up, I'll be using the 10 gig SFP to connect directly to the internet, but I'll explain why I've done it this way initially in a moment. I've also added a 10 gig LC SFP to the gateway and connected that via an OM4 multimode fiber to a 10 gig SFP in the switch. The switch is then connected via a patch lead to my access point. I've already set this up once before, but now I'm going to factory reset it so I can do it again. If you're using an Omada router like I am, then it's much easier to set this up directly first. That way you'll have an internet connection to work with. I connected directly to the switch using this USB dongle. I then checked my network adapter to see what subnet we were working on and to find the router's IP. Once I had that, I could type it into a browser and connect. You'll get a privacy warning, ignore that and proceed. You'll then need to create a local login. Don't worry too much about it. The password is fussy, but it's just for this initial setup. Assuming you have your internet connected, you'll be asked what type of connection you have. On WAN 4, I'm just using DHCP, and that's currently connected to my local network. My SFP is not connected at the moment, and I'll explain why. My internet uses PPPoE, which is available, but it also requires a VLAN tag. For some reason, at this stage of the setup, I don't have the option to add that tag, and without it, it just won't work. So I'm using WAN 4 just to get through the setup so I can configure it properly in a minute. We can then test the connection and connect. Once the setup is finished, we get taken to the full configuration options. The first thing I do, as I'm going to be using a cloud controller, is enable the cloud controller. Without this, I won't connect later. So it's important to do this. I now have the full internet configuration, so I can put in my PPPoE details, select the DNS servers and add the VLAN tag. Great, so now the router is set up, we have internet and I can move on to the cloud controller setup. Right, so now we're setting up the Omada Cloud. So Omada offers a free cloud service, which is great and it's fairly unusual. It definitely adds value to an already cheaper networking solution. The cloud service can be found at the link in the comments, and it's also available via a QR code on the boxes themselves. The first thing I'm going to do is sign into my Omada account. If you haven't got one, it's quick and easy to make one. Then I click the Try Now link and it takes me through to the option to add an organization. You can think of an organization as an overarching group for all your site. At this point, you can choose your tier. For most home users, the essential free license is likely to be more than enough. But for those looking for more advanced features, you may wish to select the standard paid version. Once you've selected your tier, you can add information about your organization. You'll see here there is also an option to select either Omada Network or Omada Guard or both. Guard is Omada's CCTV system, but we're not going to be using that. So we'll just select a network, accept the terms and conditions, and we're done. You'll get a lot of information about Omada's new features and how it all works. If you've never used Omada before, I would really take some time to run through this. Okay, so now we're within our organization, but to set up the equipment, the first thing we're going to need to do is set up a new site. This is the individual network that you want to establish in your home or business. Again, we add some information about this specific site, including the type of switches used. As I have one of the more advanced layer 2 plus switches, I'm going to select the Access series. For the device account, this is the username and password used for the individual devices. This username and password needs to be the same as you used to set up the router earlier. So now our site's set up and we can see it in our organizational overview. Select that site and it will take you into your dashboard. For those of you who have used any other networking controllers, this will likely feel pretty familiar. We'll get into some of the features later, but the first thing we want to do is add some devices. So we're going to go to devices, then select add devices. You can actually batch add them if you want, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to add them one at a time. There are several ways to add devices, but I found the easiest for me was to use the device serial number, which is included on the device and on the device's box. In this example, I'm typing them, but you can also use the Omada app for an even easier setup, which I will do later. So we select by serial number and then type the number in. For the purpose of this video, I'm also adding the model number as the name, but this can be whatever you want it to be, or it can be left blank. Now, as long as the device is online and not set up on another cloud controller somewhere, it will adopt onto your system. You should get a green tick to say it's ready to go and add online. We just have to wait a few minutes for it to configure and update onto the controller. If it needs any firmware upgrades, they will pop up on the side and you can apply them. I've already done that in this case, but you'll see me doing that later on the access point. One point to note on the router or the gateway is it will bring across the WAN connection details. So you don't have to add these before adopting. Your router and network will remain online. You'll see that my switch has appeared as a device ready to be adopted, and I can simply click that without adding the serial number. I have to confess this did not happen on the first setup, so I'm not entirely sure why it's appeared now, especially as the access point hasn't. It may potentially be because it has previously been on this controller. For the access point, I used the Omada app. You'll need to log in and select the site you want to add the device to, then simply go to devices, select the add device plus sign in the corner, select by serial number, and then use the camera to scan the serial number on the box or the device. Newly adopted devices will almost certainly need an upgrade, and you'll see the upgrade option on the side. Just click this and it will start the process. Upgrades take some time, so while we're waiting, we can set up the Wi-Fi. And we do that by going to Network Configuration and then WLAN. That stands for Wireless Local Area Network. Once we're there, we go over to Create New Wireless Network. Give it a name, make sure all the bands are ticked, in this case we're using 6 GHz, and give it a password and click apply. Now there are more advanced settings and we'll cover this in a later video, but at the moment we're just doing a basic setup. Now I'm going to be doing some speed tests. My internet is around 2 gigs and I have this Wi-Fi 7 adapter from TP-Link connected to this spare Dell Optiplex. We haven't done any real configuration of the Wi-Fi, so I want to see what speeds we get pretty much out of the box with this AP. So this is my network adapter. You can see I'm connected to the YouTube Wi-Fi on Wi-Fi 7, 6 GHz, and you can see the potential link speed there of 4 gig. So now for the speed test, And let's go. On the download, we are getting speeds of nearly 2 gigs. And bearing in mind, we've done absolutely no configuration on this. The upload seems to be quite a bit slower, but that may well be my internet. We can see that the potential is there from the download. So overall, really impressed, bearing in mind there has been no configuration. And there you have it, a full TP-Link Omada network with some pretty impressive speed tests and all configured using a free cloud controller. I hope you found this video useful. Please do consider subscribing and stick around for these future videos where we'll be digging into some more advanced features and speed testing. If you've got any questions about the setup, or if there's anything specifically you want me to look at in the future videos, then please let me know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye.